Communication means. Go ahead, vibrate. Get your heads together up here. Get your heads all the way up together. Heads together. What does communication mean? You guys stand up like this. Stand up like this and put your heads right in the middle. Like this. Okay? And stand up. Stand up. And say, what do you think communication means?
What do you think communication means?
You see? Oh, I see some eyes looking this way. Thank you. All right, raise your hand and tell me, what do you think effective communication is? Yes, sir.
Effective communication is when when you talk to like on the phone, but it kind of bugs out after like 2 minutes. It starts to go and then high side.
Okay, so if two people are talking on the phone,
Yeah.
then he says that would be effective communication. Thank you. Who else has an idea about what would be effective communication? Yes, ma'am. Effective communication is? Okay, so she says effective communication is working together as a team. Thank you. Sorry about that E. There we go. Who else has an idea? Yes, sir. Okay, so if someone got in the way, it wouldn't be effective? No. Okay, everybody look at this word. Say effective.
Effective.
Effective means it really works. It works for what we need it to work for. And communication is talking. It's letting each other know, but we communicate in other ways too. And today I'm going to show you other ways we communicate. So what am I going to see you doing if you are communicating effectively in your teams and as a whole class? And I already saw some this morning. I was watching, and I saw some effective communication when you were doing it. So right now, when I say the signal word, your team is going to get together, and you're going to say, if we are showing effective communication, the teacher will see. So say that with me. If we are showing effective communication, the teacher will see. And you need to come up with an idea in your team. Now remember, I am going to choose a number and you don't know who has to share out. So make sure you know your team answer. Okay? Ready? Set? Vibrate. Vibrate. You see? I already saw a team that showed effective communication right now with me. So they're going to start. What's your team name?
Bruin Marching Band.
Bruin Marching Band, person number 2. Please stand up and tell me, what am I going to see you do if you are communicating effectively? And I'm looking for teams who are listening to Bruin Marching Band, and I want to see if you're letting her communicate with you effectively. I already see 2 teams that are doing that. Go ahead, nice and loud. Okay, so I will see you working together. Working together. So here's a group, and when you're working together, do you need to be close enough to hear each other?
Yeah.
If you're going to communicate? I think so. So I'm going to put here that if you're in a group, how close do you need to be? Can I communicate with my group if I'm way over here and they're over there?
No.
No, so they definitely need to be together. Come up here and give your team a team point for effectively communicating. And here's the way we give team points. we give team points like tally marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we cross it. 5. See how that works?
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's how we're going to do our tally marks, so we can count them by 5s when we're done. All right? So give your team a point, please. And stay up there. I had noticed that the team in the back, what's your team?
Wait, this one?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. JJ Bruins.
Okay, the JJ Bruins team, they turned around and they watched her, so they let her communicate with them. They also earned a point. JJ Bruins, person number 1, stand up and tell me. What did your team come up with?
Effective communication is like a person talking to another person, and it like works, but sometimes it doesn't work.
Okay, well, if it doesn't work, then it's not effective, right? So it's a person talking to another person that does work, when it does work. And when we're doing talking marks on the paper, we're going to do it like this. Watch. We're going to do a little speech bubble, yeah. So this person's talking. What do I see this person doing if this person is talking? What's this person doing?
Listening.
Yes, and what do I see if I know they're listening?
You're looking at the here?
Yeah, so this one is going to have his eyes looking over there. So let's add that as well. Let's say whoever's listening, so let's call them the listener, okay? The listener is looking. Who are they looking at? At who? At the person talking. Let's call him the speaker. Say that with me. Speaker. The listener, and actually this is a complete sentence, so we're going to make a capital on this one. The listener is looking at the speaker. Whoever's, so let's put somebody looking, okay? Here's going to be their eyes. And they're going to be looking at the person talking. So here's somebody talking, and the other person is looking at them. Let's make this one a girl. There we go. Thank you. And he already touched on it. Diego talked about that. When you are doing communication that is effective, that means it really works. I'm going to hear some things, and I can already hear them. I can hear it in here. So the question here is, what is the teacher going to hear if you are having effective communication with your team or also with the class? We're going to talk about what I should be hearing and what Mrs. Rhodes should be hearing when you're communicating effectively. Okay, so you're going to get your heads together, and here's what you're going to say. Ready? You're going to say, if she can hear effective communication, she will hear. Get out of your seat, and stand up. Get your heads together and say, if we have effective communication, what will the teacher hear?
Communication. The teacher will hear us talking about.
You see, everybody should be sitting up, looking up, listening up. And we're going to start with this team right here. And it's going to be person number 1. Stand up and tell me.
Yeah.
Okay. If we are showing effective communication,
We are showing effective communication.
the teacher will hear.
The teacher will hear us communicating and figuring out problems.
Okay, so I will be listening, and they're going to figure out problems. Did you come up with that with your whole team?
Yes.
That means you communicated effectively. Come up and give your team a point, and stay up here to give team points. And let's figure out problems. Let's pretend that you're figuring out a math problem, okay? It could be 17 minus 9. You could be figuring out that kind of problem, or you could figure out an answer to a question. So if someone asks you a question, you could be figuring out that answer. The door monitor, please close the door. And this team in the very back, person number 2. Nice and loud. If we are showing effective communication, the teacher will hear. Yes, we will hear you working together. So we said we would see it. How will I hear it? How will your voices be if you're working together as a group? Okay, are they going to be really loud or are they going to be kind of quiet? I think so. You know, look, if they're over there and somebody's shouting, the other group isn't going to be able to hear, right? So can we put that you'll be in a group? So let's have a quiet group voice. I noticed that your class does this. When you're speaking, you stand up to talk, don't you? Everybody else is sitting down at their tables and you stand up because you're using your loud voice so everybody can hear. Thank you. Stand and deliver. So we're going to put stand and deliver.
I think she's the name board.
And we could have put that on the C side. I put it on the hearing side, but really it's something that I can see. I see you stand and deliver, so you're effectively communicating. Thank you.